Fam, what's up, squad? Happy Monday. I think this is like the 8th Monday in a row where we woke up and the markets have tanked. I do want to show you guys today that there's not a lot of volume behind this dump, so we need to be careful that this dump is not fake. Looking at the high time frames here, specifically the Monday, or the monthly chart, as you can see, we had monthly close, right? So we need to speak around monthly closes, what kind of happened. And what we can see specifically here is we could see that there is a wick and there is a big body. So obviously bears won the fight within the month, okay? But it does not surprise me that we are basically opening up with a bit of redness. But we do need to make sure that that is not a trap. You got to remember now, we have seen multiple weeks of downside, okay? Mentally, this is going to get to people and there ain't going to be much hope anymore. Right. And that's why it's important for us to make sure we can survive these areas, but make sure that our hope is growing faster, right? That we are actually looking for the bullness within the markets, not pre-jumping, not getting wrecked, not doing any of these things, but making sure that we have the different mentality to the rest of the market. Right. So I want to speak around this again. And I also want to show you here, we are approaching an oversold monthly chart within this month, as well as the weekly really just being oversold as well. Right? There is still so much liquidity sitting to the upside, right? This market is wiping every damn long out. It's wrecking them, but you can just see the yellow bars of liquidations and liquidity where it's all sitting. Plus, guys, obviously trading was a little bit tougher last week. I have entered a couple of trades I want to speak about today of how I'm preparing myself for some trades. I'm going with a slightly not different approach, but I am preparing myself for a little bit of longs that I'll hold a bit, right? Previously, I've been getting in, out every single day type of thing, and that's worked well. But where we're getting with this dump today, I do think there's opportunity to possibly hold for a couple of days on one or two of the accounts, and I want to speak about that. So, guys, let's get the charts ready. Let's get our vibes nice and strong. It's Monday. Life's good. We're still alive. We're still breathing, and we have another chance again to get rich. So, let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like 𝗧𝗏𝗃. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Yes, squad, what's happening, guys? Okay, I just want to start off immediately with Bitfunded, and I want to quickly chat to you guys around this. I do think that this time here, I'm going to speak about setups for today and, trades to the upside, but I truly believe this is a good time to start your demo accounts, right? To pass the levels, right? End of the day, you have this opportunity with specifically leverage right now, which is something that I'm using quite a bit within the markets, okay? But the important thing here is to know that, we need to make sure that when the upside comes, that we make money, right? And that's why for me, instead of putting too much on the line of own capital, right, you do have the opportunity to have a funded account to pass the level in these times. So if we look at the market as a whole now and Bitcoin decides to have this little push up, then a bit of volatility, and later in the week we decide to pop up, I kind of want to use these times here to pass levels and to have more money than what I had previously. Right. And that's why for me, the Bitfunded thing is great and powerful. And I'm just letting you guys know that I am definitely starting my funded accounts within today. Right. I do feel that this market is going to go hunt that liquidity at 100K at some point. Right. And I want to make sure I have funded accounts. So again, if I have $99, okay, and I buy accounts and I pass the one stage, which means make 8% profit without losing 8% of your money, right? Then you pass the challenge. Okay, then I traded $5,000 real money and I keep, I think it's 90. It might even be 100% of the profits on some of the challenge, which is crazy, but 90% of the profits over here. Remember, we do have a Black Friday special. If you buy any 3, you get any 3 free and they do not expire. Now, the one cool thing and why am I bringing this up now, because I think it can be powerful for you. There used to be a time limit with these challenges. Right. And basically what it meant was when you opened up your trade, you're basically chasing a target to reach a certain amount of capital to unlock. Right. But the way that it kind of tricked you, not previously before, but it's the way where it kind of a lot of people got stuck was they had this meter where it's how many days you have to trade in order to pass the challenge. So even if you made the money in day 1, it would still tell you that you have to trade every day for 5 days. So it used to have a meter with 1 and then how many days out of 5 have you traded? And if you've made the profits and you've traded for 5 days, right, you would have passed the account. I'm here to officially say, and well done to Bitfunded, because I think this is next level, there is no more time limit. right? So if you make the trade today and you pass the trade today, from tomorrow you can trade with a funded account. Huge. Previously, you'd have to wait 5 days and trade 5 days and these type of things. There is no more time limits. Huge, which means take your time. Remember what Bitfunder does? It teaches you to control your risk. Okay, but take your time and get through the challenge. You then have unlocked capital, right? And for me, the way I saw it was, you know me, the next one I'm trading this one here, $1,400 package here, right? But for me, when I unlock, I have 150K in the market without leverage. Okay, I just want to make this clear, right? If I have $1,400 and I pass the challenge and I have $150,000, right? That's on a 1x, meaning that I can trade that money long and short without leverage, right? And I'm trading with 150,000, yet I put in 1,400. Okay, if I leverage, because it allows you to leverage to a 5x, okay, and I decide, okay, I'm going to start with a 3x and I'm only going to enter in little bits, right? Remember, that 3x is 3 times 150, right? That 5x is times 150. So what am I doing then to creating myself here is either I can trade just 150, no leverage, and I can long and short, okay, or I actually have around $700,000 to go long in the market, but I put in 1,400. I'm not saying the big package is the one, guys. I'm just telling you that I do feel that this is now getting more achievable, and with you guys being here and the time that you've spent to learn these things, I do think this is a good chance not to blow your own money and to use these accounts to help you a lot in the journey. So I wanted to bring that up because I want to let you know that I'm doing it. I want to use this phase here to pass the challenges so that I have liquidity and extra capital to make my money back on the higher time frames. Then the next thing I want to jump in here, guys, is let's go through a bit of high time frame analysis quickly. Get a bit of an understanding of where the market's at, right? So this is where I'm currently seeing the market. So we lost this trend that started to make us finally lose 100K, right? We lost 100K. Since then, right now, 100K is resistance, okay? I am now sitting on a monthly chart to show you this is high time frame. The first thing that's happening is the market is slowly getting oversold on the high time frames. Okay, which means there's still a little bit more here when it comes to expectations of your long-term portfolio recovering, right? There is still more downside for at least a month, or not even down. It can just be sideways, right? So anything below 100K, this thing will still come down. Okay, but just know in the next month or two, we're sitting with a completely oversold monthly, right? Now, let me just explain to you where the monthly was last time when it was here. It sat here for a little while, okay, but that was the bottom. So just keep that in mind, right? To capitulate now, to exit your long-term portfolio now, you're truly exit liquidity, right? You are literally, as you are selling out, people are buying at the bottoms here, and then specifically with altcoins, okay? Then the next thing here is we have the next momentum trend. And this is telling us where support's sitting. And that's why we bounced last week at that areas of the 82,000, because it basically tagged the original trend. Right? We came down, we tagged the trend, and we got a bounce, which means that there is buying power sitting in this area over here. Now, since we've had that, have we seen a real bounce in the market? No, we have not. Okay, we might have seen it on the short-term time frame where Bitcoin went up to the areas of the 92, 94, but we have not seen it on the weekly just yet. So what I'm preparing for this week, right, is I'm getting ready for the bounce. Not only am I getting ready for the bounce, I'm getting ready for the bounce to the 100K mark. Okay, and I'm looking for a higher low here. So again, the monthly ended a little bit bearish, therefore it makes sense we're starting off, but I'm actually seeing this candle turn within this week and next week, right? I'm seeing it this week, but I do want to just state as well next week it can take a little bit longer if it doesn't go to my full plan A. And my plan A is basically this candle here turns green, this weekly candle, and we actually end up to the areas of the late 90,000s within this week. Now, again, is this the most exciting news for long term? No, it's not. Because when we get there, it's very likely we might come here again and then go up. But is this an opportunity to maybe pass some funded challenges to trade and make some money within this move as the market's volatile? I do think there's opportunity. And I think there's a lot to be done as well, right, in these phases. So again, it's also just justifying to me, don't hold any winners you are getting in this market right now, in a market that is filled with people losing, right? Don't hold the positions too long, bank your money, be patient, get back in. Therefore, last week, I actually had a bit of a terrible trading journey, right? Where I ended up losing around 30, 5% of the account, okay? And I'm only trading today. The last trade that I made was last week, Thursday. I took those 2-3 days off, I rebooted, and now I'm happy. I'm actually happy. I woke up this morning, the entire market was on special, right? Which creates opportunity. Remember, when big drops come, big pumps or big bounces come too, and you can get into profits pretty quickly, okay? So just to give you that nice little expert, this is my views here. What I don't want to see this week, right, is I don't want to see Bitcoin losing 80,000. Then we are on our way to the 70. Now, again, guys, anywhere here, there is going to be a buying power. When we get the buying power, you're going to see the bounce, and the bounce is going to catch me off of guard, right? But we need to just be aware of that over there. Right now, bull, this is a higher low bull here, that W pattern I was expecting, and that push to the upside. But we need to pay attention to this. Right now, we're still good, but that is the zone where we're like, we need to decide, right? When it comes to the Bitcoin dominance on the high time frames, we finished quite bearish last month. Okay, and not only bearish, I actually think we are going to see a strong red candle this month in Bitcoin dominance. So if I'm looking at Bitcoin go to 100, right, that's looking anywhere of up to what, 20%. I think some altcoins can do up to 50% within that move. Right, this for me is bearish. The candle's bearish on the monthly, right? And it's still below that trend line. So for me, at any point now, we should see a increase of this over here. And that just gets us back to the total 3 chart, which is, remember, they are in golden pocket. Golden pocket is known to be the best investment entries. Is when tokens have moved a certain amount and they've come down 60 to 70% from what they've done previously. So the best investment is when a token's done crazy moves, you don't chase it, but that is the area that you are looking for. Because if we look at many times, this is what the altcoin market has been doing. Now we are at that same retracement level, okay, as what we've been before with the oversold market. Okay, so for me, whatever cash, whatever I can, I do slowly build up. I'm not as aggressive with building my long term because it's quite sad. I've been holding those bags for a while, but ultimately, we are in golden pockets. So again, we can see a strong bounce from altcoins in these areas. And then just going down a few more over here. Okay, the things like Sol's in a big wedge, now hitting the trend. So this is telling me that we should do something like this, right? That pullback doesn't have to be that aggressive. But anyway, push up here, then something like this, then a possible breakout later within the beginning of next year. I'm still quite bullish for 2026, guys. It's not over, right, for me. A token to pay attention to if you wanted to buy it, now is the only time I'm bringing it up now as investment entries, is Zcash. Okay, now just beware, guys. A lot of people have bought this thing. They actually don't know what it's doing, right? I also don't know too much of it. I've just been trading it, but there is investment entries that are coming up. It exploded. Now it's coming down to these previous supports. This is usually where you'd load up if you wanted to buy some for the long term. Secondly, the fact that we're getting here, okay, I do want to see this go a little bit lower, up to $300. I still think it's a 20% drop incoming at any point on Zcash, okay? But this can be a really good trading token. Very good. If I'm tracking this thing down now, okay, and I'm tracking it nice aggressive, and this thing breaks out, drops that zone and breaks out, there's a lot of opportunity. So Zcash, I'm not touching it right now, but I am putting in my radars the next few days to catch some longs on that. The rest of the market is literally going down to bear market levels. Cardano is back to the time where it's at its lowest, right? Even though it hasn't broken its highs, it's always been a good area to buy. Right, we've always made money after this type of thing. So just keep that in mind over there too. Okay, let's get into today's play. We're going to go up or we're going to go down. That's my prediction, right? Again, what are we trying to do here? We're not trying to predict. We're basically looking at important levels and looking what to do next, right? Specifically when it comes to trading. We are on 618 on Bitcoin. So right now I am more bullish than bearish on Bitcoin for the day. I actually think we are going to start slowly recovering to the upside. We've had the rejection. We had a fast candle that came down. Also just want to show you guys that this candle here, right, specifically I'm using the 4-hour here, is not anywhere near the volume what we had previously on these dumps, right? So this is like sitting nearly halfway of what we've seen previously, okay? And that candle's already done. So it's telling me that, yes, it's a sell, but it's not as much volume as what we've seen previously before, okay? And that's when you kind of got to start sniffing a little bit of a trap as well, right? Of where this could trap the market pretty quickly and get them to kind of turn bear, right? Everyone's kind of that mentality. But keep that in mind, the volume is not backing. Therefore, for me, making me even more slightly bullish for the day. 60% bearish still, holy moly. Not me. You know me, I'm bull, but long term, I just think it's going to take a bit of time to recover. This is my actual play for my bullish scenario. I actually think we're going to recover this move pretty quickly. And then I do think there's going to be a trap. And then I actually do think there's a real breakout incoming. Right, this is what I'm trading for right now in the positions that I'm slowly building. Okay, if that changes, what basically changes for me is us losing this level. Where we are right now, we can still see a higher low. Where is my other scenario? There we go. Okay, if we lose 85 and we drop to 83, then I'm turning to this type of angle over here. Okay, so which means right now the only options for me available are longs. Okay, with stops below here. Quite simple. Okay, if that kind of changes, then I got to look at, okay, market wants to go down for the week. But as it stands, I'm about 60-70% bullish for the week. Tokens that I'm trading is Solana. I've now moved off of the Zcashes and those type of tokens. They're a little bit too volatile, not worth trading right now until they're at key levels. So the long that I've just taken now is Solana. Remember, altcoins pull back a little bit more than Bitcoin. So what I've noticed is 786 Fibonacci's, which basically means that if this is Bitcoin and it's pulled back 60% of what is done over here, altcoins always pull back that little bit more, right? But remember, when they go up, they do the same thing. So Bitcoin comes down 5%, alts come down 8%, or 10%. But when we go up, Bitcoin goes up to 5%, alts go up 10%, right? So for me, there is support here. And there is a reason of where we can bounce, and we are on the last strong Fibonacci level. And for me, risk is quite low. So if I wanted to enter this right now and look at this over here, right, my risk is looking around there, okay, which is around 1.3%. Okay, and my reward's looking pretty big. Now, the next thing of why I think the market's going to recover this pretty quickly is because when we go so fast away from our momentum line, right, we start to go quite fast. So just to show you guys an example here. Right, here we are here. And the moment we go far away from the line, we tend to go all the way back to the line. Right, and then we'll decide if we break or not. But when I see that far distance, right, I see that here's the initial trend and we go far away from it. Right, we tend to have a strong rally. It takes a little bit of time sometimes, but we tend to have a strong rally back to the line. Right, so the first thing that I picked up is volume's a little bit low. We are on support. There's a reason that we could be buying here. And the second thing is we pulled quite far away from our trend, which gives me a good idea that we should make our way up back over there. Then I think there's a trap, or it will be the down. Okay, but then it's something like this. So the longs that I've taken now is sold in these areas over here with stop losses around the 125 range for my stops. Okay, I've taken two approaches. The one approach is me trading here on Blowfin, and I'm trading on a 20x, okay? But I'm not trading the entire capital. I'm only actually 50% in. So realistically, I'm around a 10x, 8x position over here, okay? But I start on 20 because as we start making our way up and we break the next levels, I'm going to be trying getting the whole position in. So I'm going a little bit more aggressive, okay? And then I'm an absolute degen on the other one, right? Which is this one here, where I'm on a 50x, but I got the entry early. So look at this. Buy. Break trend. Make it bigger. Okay. Retest. Break trend. Make it bigger. Okay. Bull flag. So you see these B's here of where I've been buying, right? The first one was I caught the Fibonacci level. Okay. I didn't go all in. I actually only went in like 10% of the money. Then we broke the trend. 2. Then we broke that trend. Retest and break. 3. Then we made a bull flag and broke the flag. 4, right? Now, I've just added my last bit because we broke another flag. Okay, so what did I do? In this little time here, where many are kind of looking at the charts and they don't know what's kind of going, I managed to build my account from a 10x up to a 50x position size. Okay, and the moment we break here, I can put my stop at entry. I'm only running at about $1,000. So around a 5% risk with my current stop loss there right now. I just want to show you when you start to take your mind into trading and start to learn the skills a bit more, you get a lot faster, right? And I'm one more add-on here and my positions are full, okay? And my stop loss, I can't even go bigger than that, right? Bigger, maxed out leverage, maxed out position, okay? I still have a little bit more cash here, which is around, I still got to put around 20% in, and then I'm maxed out. Right, but I just want to show you guys that this is now, if Sol now just pops up to that 135, that 140 we've been speaking about, okay, it's a very good trade, right? This can easily, 6, 7x the account. Okay, but I did not start on 50x. That's the number one rule I want to say here. I didn't just go full degen. Started slow, started this, but I'm just showing you when you fish in these hard areas and take breaks as well. Like I literally took a break and I was like, should I trade yesterday? Nah, you know what? My schedule's a bit much and I'm not going to be fully focused. Took a break, woke up this morning. Okay, I actually had a red trading week last week. I lost last week, okay, versus where I was the weeks before. Okay, but my risk management is on a way better scale than what it's ever been before. Okay, but the cool thing was, oh, big dumps. Oh, I have money, right? I have something to do it, to take advantage of it and do things. Okay, so you can see a lot of my stops around the 125 positions are in. Okay, but I'm not going to risk buying higher, guys. You either want to take the long here or you don't. When it gets here, don't decide to take the long, please. Right? Again, you do your own decision, no financial advice. But taking here, that's the problem. If you are long and you want to commit, this is where you commit. All right, this is where you do it. Otherwise, the second guessing and things like that for me is not the way to play it. Right? As we go down, you will see a lot. The other trade that I think is also really good is ETH. Okay, ETH is at the 618 right now. Okay, so it could go down to the 786. But as it stands right now, Bitcoin's on 618, ETH on 618, altcoins on 786. Right, for me, we're kind of at that point where I think it's, either it's double bottoms coming on alts, but this is where we should see some upside, right? So same for ETH. ETH is something now, if you're looking to long, right, and popping a stop loss anywhere around the, outside the 2780 type of area, looking at a 1.5% to 2%. Right, as it comes down, your percent gets less, but this looks like a good trade. Now, again, if I look at where I think it's going to go, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's news or something's going to come out. I don't know, but something's just showing me a fast recovery here, then a drop, then we get going. So I don't think the big breakout happens yet, but I do think there is that pop that's going to come and reverse at any time very quick, right? I'm long 100%. Yeah, we can't. You do you, boo. Okay, let's go through over here. Something like this I will not touch for trading today, right? Is when, if you look at Cardano here, it's completely lost the lows. For me, not something that I'm very interested in, right? Will I be a little bit later? Yes, when it's ready to break out. But for me, that's not looking at true. So right now, I think, again, my biggest, not warnings, but my biggest things are like just trade strength. Trade strength, trade strength, trade strength, right? Your other tokens that you love to bits that will change your life, they will recover. But trade strength, trade's the best. So again, ETH and Sol are like by far the best. Will I touch Zcash now? No, right? Because I don't know if it's going to bounce here firstly. Okay, if we look at fib levels, maybe it's on a fib, but it's like, where do you take the fib from, right? If I take a fib here, maybe, see, it's not at 786. So every fib level I take here now, it's not making sense. Therefore, I don't touch this if I want to make money today, right? It needs to make sense, okay? When will I touch this? Just let it drop, right? It's far from here. So let it do its thing for a couple of days. Let me just show you again, right? Let it do its thing for a couple of days. And when it's here, that's when I want to catch it. Okay, trade strength, and just keep getting yourself into those routines, which are super important. Guys, from today, we are putting people in the club. Okay, I think we've already started releasing the old clubs in there now. You join the free club today for free, right? Go click on here. You're going to open up Exchange, or if you've got a Blowfin account with my link, you get in for free. That account has to be active though, guys. I give us $50, $100. You've got to take 1 or 2 trades a month to keep your free position. Otherwise, you can pay if you want, but I don't want anyone to pay, right? Here's a huge community. It's opening up, probably by far our biggest launch of the year, right? Super, super, super pumped for that. You can join that. Okay. Oh, and remember a couple of deals as well. We have the Rolex we're giving away on BTCC soon. So if you've got a BTCC account or you want to get one, there is a Rolex coming your guys' way. And there's great deals on WeX right now as well. So any exchange opens, we've got great deals below. Okay, let's go through, see what else is cooking. Okay, something like Doge I won't touch. See, a lot of these coins, we had them strong last week. This dropped through. You don't want to touch them right now until they've broken the major trends. Let's see. Fake outs, not much there. So guys, for me, Solana and ETH today. Now, why should you watch my show every day? I want to explain to you guys, right? Is every day I want to bring you a trade of the day, 1 or 2 setups that I am physically trading myself. I'm not going to just give trades if I'm not trading, right? I'm going to be trading, and every day I'm going to be giving trades that I've entered and I'm in with stop losses, plans, strategies, and structures to make weekly. I'm then going to give you guys Bitfunded setups as well on my show. Setups that I'm doing for Bitfunded to pass the challenges, right? And then we'll obviously be looking at when market wakes up or has big moves. We'll look at the best tokens within the market. But full-on trading alpha, trades every day, as well as Bitfunded trades as well. This is what you can expect from the Sniper Show this week. Guys, have a great day. Have a phenomenal day. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Bye-bye.